Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our third Leadership Circle Luncheon of 2024. I want to thank all you Leadership Circle members for being present and your guests. Everyone, and first I want to start out by recognizing our staff at Texas Alliance for Life. Lance Peterson, Amy O'Donnell, Ashley Sosa, Reagan Hogan, Michael Maria Zuniga, Kristen Bagari, and Deirdre Cooper, who is working from home and watching us. As Joseph said, our life-saving pro-life laws have been under attack in the courts and in some of the media like never before. A New York-based pro-abortion organization called the Center for Reproductive Rights has sued our state, seeking to make abortion legal for virtually any reason, from conception unto birth. Our law, the Human Life Protection Act, which was among our top priorities when the legislature passed that law in 2021, completely protects unborn babies from elective abortions beginning at conception. The law contains a carefully crafted medical necessity exception to allow abortions in those rare and tragic cases when a pregnancy puts the mother's life at risk and she would die without that abortion. Center for Reproductive Rights asked the court to expand that exception. They argued that the language in the law is vague enough so that any pregnancy can be considered a risk to a pregnant woman's life, no matter how small the risk. Okay? And therefore, any pregnancy qualifies for abortion under the exception language. Now, if that sounds outlandish, the case was called Zerowski v. Texas, and a district court here in Travis County agreed and expanded the exception far beyond the cases of medical necessity. We got involved. We, Texas Alliance for Life, filed 2 amicus briefs to defend our laws. One on behalf of a majority of the members of the legislature, and it was not hard to get the pro-life members to sign on for that. And the other one on behalf of 3 entities, the Texas Catholic Conference of Bishops, Texans for Life, and our organization, Texas Alliance for Life. Well, I have some very, very good news for you. In a complete and unmitigated victory, the Texas Supreme Court ruled 9-0 in May to uphold the Human Life Protection Act. It remains in effect. Unborn babies remain protected. The court determined that the law is constitutional and the exception language is clear. It's not vague. Now, since the fall of Roe, now 2 years ago, the reported elective abortions in Texas have plummeted from thousands per month to 0. Now you can see that on that screen, but we also have handouts on here. There's a lot of numbers, but what I wanted to point out is you can see that there were thousands of abortions every month, before the Dobbs decision came down in June of 2022. Then they quickly plummeted to 0 elective abortions every month. As Governor Abbott has said, our pro-life laws are saving babies' lives and they're saving mothers' lives. Okay? Here's the data to prove it. Now, we have all heard that Texas law is endangering women's lives because doctors cannot perform life-saving abortions because the doctors fear being arrested. Well, the opponents claim that women are either dying, pregnant women are dying, or they're going out of state for abortions. All right, well, as you can see from this chart, that is completely false. Since Dobbs, doctors have reported performing 102 abortions from July 2022 through March 2024. That's the latest the data is available. No doctor has been charged by a prosecutor, sanctioned by the Texas Medical Board, or sued by the Attorney General. No woman has lost her life for lack of a medical necessity exception. Even with more, can you believe it, 360,000 plus births every year in Texas. So, we spent a great deal of time and effort countering that false narrative through our social media, our news releases, emails, interviews with conventional media, and listen to this, we are literally reaching millions of people in Texas and throughout the nation every month. And we have a tracking service that keeps track of all that. So we're really helping to counter the lies and set the record straight. So there's more I want to brag about, and through your help, thank you for everyone who helped make the 30th annual Walk for Life so successful. And we had more than 228 walkers. They raised more than $128,000, an outstanding result. Now, Lance is going to talk more about that after this. Our annual benefit dinner is actually coming up. And my wife and I are already contacting friends and acquaintances to sit at our table for 10 at that annual benefit dinner. That's on Saturday, October 5th. The speaker is sensational, Eric from Texas. You know, this is one of our, really, this is the most important fundraising event of the year. It makes all this great stuff possible. And it's a great way for you to invite your guests and expand our leadership circle. Well, there is I want to thank all our Leadership Circle members, because you are like the fuel in the rocket that's making us reach these heights. And can I ask you, if you are a Leadership Circle member, can you just raise your hand? Wow, thank you. Thank you. What's the Leadership Circle? Well, the Leadership Circle is a way for you to support the critical work of our organization at $1,200 to $10,000 a year. If you're a guest here, we need you to join. And we're making it easy. There's a card at the table, and you can fill that out and give it to one of our staff. For just $100 a month, you can make a huge difference in the state of Texas. And if you're not ready for that, well, we have lower levels as well. So thanks to everyone here and watching online. You are keeping Texas pro-life. Now, when the Center for Reproductive Rights brought the Zawoski lawsuit, that's named after the chief plaintiff, Amanda Zawoski, which had a woman with a very tragic story. They included some 20 other women who had not life-threatening, but very difficult pregnancies with babies who had life-limiting or terminal diagnoses for their unborn babies. All very tragic cases. As I said, none of those cases endangered their life, so it really was not a reason to bring the lawsuit. They thought differently. Almost certainly, these women didn't even have standing to be part of the lawsuit. But that didn't stop the Center for Reproductive Rights from parading these poor women in front of the media and the public. Maybe this was an attempt to use sympathy for these women, which we all experience, that kind of sympathy, to turn the public against our pro-life laws that protected their own unborn babies. Well, of course, we seldom hear the full story when these cases arrive. And these are very rare cases. Well, we've been pushing out several videos of Deirdre Cooper, who is a member of our staff, telling her story of resisting pressure from her doctors to abort her son, Bosco, after a diagnosis of trisomy 18. Those videos have received tens of thousands of views on YouTube, Facebook, X, and TikTok. I mean, we are really reaching people, and we're changing the conversation. I've asked our communications people to not just push these out in Texas, but to the entire nation. So we are getting a tremendous reach. It does cost money to do that, and I think that is money very well spent, because no one else, or very few others, are really educating Texas and the nation about what's going on in Texas. Well, today you're going to hear more of the whole story. We have a panel discussion of experts. Individuals have received negative diagnoses during their pregnancies. So let me recognize Amy O'Donnell, our communications director, who will introduce our panel and facilitate the discussion. Thank you.